What is up, guys? It's Mekabre and Co. back today with something a little different. And that's because this is the first of hopefully many to come of the MC podcast. Yeah, that's right. Remember how I was talking about that surprise that was coming New Year's Day? Well, this is part one of the surprise, the first surprise of two, however you want to look at it. We're doing a podcast now. That's right. And I have some special guests with me here today that I hope you guys will enjoy just as much as I do when I play with them. Some good clan members and good friends of mine, to be honest. And hopefully this goes well. That's the goal. We'll see if the podcast takes off or if it flops, and we'll go from there and decide whether or not to continue it. But if you like this content, please leave a like rating down below. And if you like the content of my channel in general, what are you doing not subscribed to it? Go ahead, click on that subscribe button, and then head on over and click that bell so that way you're notified when new stuff comes out, right? So that's surprise one. Now let's jump into surprise two. Now, surprise two is by far the biggest surprise, and the one that I was originally talking about when I brought the surprise up in the last video. And that is we have a Discord now. That's right, there's a Mekabre and Co. Discord. Now, if you would like to join, I would love to have you in our Discord. So, there should be a link in the description down below if you're watching this on YouTube, and I think I can put one on Spotify. Not really sure, but if I can, go check it out. And if I can't, hop on over to my YouTube, pick up the channel link there, or the Discord link there. Now, join this channel, use it as an opportunity to LFG some kids for Destiny 2 content, geek out about Destiny 2 content, whatever you want. I want this to be a good community, a solid community, so go ahead and join and be part of it. If you join, however, I must confess to one thing. As much as I'd love to take credit for this creation, this masterwork of a Discord channel, I can't. You see, I'm not very good with that kind of stuff. And I asked a good friend of mine, whose Discord name happens to be Walsh. You may see him in our Discord. And I asked him to help me out a little bit. He ended up taking this whole thing on his own shoulders and did the entire channel all by himself. So if you join, give a huge shout out to Walsh. He did a lot of work, and I mean a lot of work. So big shout out to him. Thank you a lot for that. All right. Now let's jump into the reason you guys are here right now, the MC podcast. And let's start by introducing my guests, both of which I would assume you guys recognize from previous videos. Let's start with our first guest, a longtime clan member with me from the start, as well as a channel follower, all the good stuff, Vito Noble.
Hello, everybody. I'm Vito. It's good to talk to y'all for once. Many
Now,
more times to come.
yeah, I hope so too. Now let's hop in and talk to our other guest, which is another clan member, not so long with us because of all the switching of clans we've done, but also a channel follower. We have Jazz Keyfall.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to finally talk to you. You know, I'm something of a celebrity myself. I'll take the 20 under the table after this is all done, Mekabre.
You got it. You got it. All right. So, boys, we're here today. We're talking about Destiny, obviously. And here's what I want to start with. I played the Destiny 1 from vanilla. Year 1, good stuff, right? I played all of Destiny 2, okay? I've been through it all. We're at a point where I feel like a lot of good things are happening, and a lot of other people feel like a lot of good things are happening in this community, that Bungie is doing the right thing, they're headed in the right direction. But I wanted to hear what your guys' opinion is on this. But we're going to put a positive spin on it, so that way you can't be trashing the game that I love so much that I decided to make content out of it, okay? So, in order
That's
to...
what I came here for.
Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do that. Not yet, at least. There'll be a chance for it, okay? Don't worry. What I want you all to start with is I want you to choose one positive thing. Now, this thing could be something that's been added to the game, that's made the game better in one way or another, something that's been taken away from the game, that once again made it better, or something that was changed in the game. Prime example for changing, haha, prime example, Gambit Prime and Gambit. Kind of been combined. Not necessarily removed, not necessarily added, but changed, okay? So I want you to sit down. I want you to think here for a second. And if either of you guys have a good idea, feel free to start up. We'll start with Vito once you have something here.
Ooh, wow. Ew. Might take a minute. I might have to think about this for a while. Hey, Jazz, you want to go first?
Yeah, I got something. So, much like Mekabre over here, I played Destiny 1 for a little while before Destiny 2. I wasn't quite from year 1, but I joined in the Taken King. But anyways, Destiny 2, when it first came out, was a little bit of a letdown, I think, for a lot of people.
No,
But
for sure, for
what
sure.
really what really revived the game for me was the sandbox changes right before Forsaken, where all the weapons got swapped around and we got the weapon system we currently have. That brought a new life into the game that I hadn't seen since D1, and I think that was probably the best change to D2 that has ever been made.
Okay. All right. I 100% agree with that. I mean the weapon system vanilla D2 was not great. It was not great. And
It's
then
okay. You
for
can say doo doo. My mom's not listening.
um but yeah, since it's been changed some due to Forsaken and all that, I do agree. I feel like that was a solid change that was made to Destiny 2, overall making it, a
Me
positive
over.
change.
Me over here, I can't say much because I came in mid-year 3 and all I saw was some 7th Seraph weapons that came in and I was like, ooh, these are fun to play with. 7th Seraph Carbine go brr.
So Vito, do you have an idea of something that was added, taken away, changed in Destiny? And for you, it's probably going to most likely be just with this most recent expansion with Beyond Light. What has changed or been added or taken away that, in your eyes, made it a better game?
I can't really say it made it better, but I can't say it made it worse either, but sunsetting a weapon.
Sunsetting, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like sunsetting kind of helped with like the sandbox and all, making more restrictions to it in a way. Like we can't keep using the same weapons over and over again from
Hmm.
year 1. We just get fresh weapons
For real.
starting year 4 that will be in the meta of here for the next 3 seasons leading up to year 5.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like sunsetting was an amazing choice by Bungie. Too many weapons that are just so overpowered or so overused that you don't have the chance to use anything else. And by sunsetting them, you're opening this door for new weapons to be used and new metas to be found, so on and so forth. And matter of fact, I ran a raid with a group just a little while ago, and they were talking about how much sunsetting sucks. And I go, yeah, but you can't honestly tell me that if sunsetting didn't occur, all of you guys would be using Anarchy. Uh, oh shoot, what's the SMG? Recluse and Anarchy or
Recluse and
Mountaintop.
Mountaintop
Yeah, that combo.
against Taniks,
And
the Abomination.
they all said, yeah, no, that's very factual. If if sunsetting hadn't occurred, that's exactly what we would be using. And to my example or that example, I feel like it's allowed us to find new weapons that are actually really, really good and have an argument to end up using them. And I really enjoy that. On to
Even though,
oh, go ahead.
even, even though I never really got to use Mountaintop, it was a bit of a toxicity toward me. I, mm. So I'm glad I didn't get to use it, but I'm also glad that I did.
Never got to join the dark side. I mean, Vito Noble. Whoops. You never got to join the dark side.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
rest in peace. But now I have, thanks, Aramis.
I I tend to disagree with these two on weapon sunsetting.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
uh, I don't really see a reason. Weapon sunsetting, for me at least, has made it so that when I join from like a semester off from playing because I went to like college, which recently just happened to me. But anyways, I came back and the only content I really had was the new expansion, and that was done for me in a few days for the most part, and then some of the content stretched out like a week or two.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
the thing was, like, if I beforehand, if I had stopped playing and I came back, I would be behind and I would have all this stuff to grind for. But now, since sunsetting is in the game, all that is taken out, and even if you wanted to grind for it, there's no real reason to go get it.
And a lot of people would argue with you on that, myself included. But that's why we're here in the first place, right? Talking about these differing ideas. And I think it's already great that we've touched on about how two of us feel positive change was sunsetting, and yet there's someone on the other side, saying, "Hey, no, I don't know if sunsetting was necessarily a positive thing for our Destiny 2, for Bungie. I don't know if it's the smartest decision. Not saying it necessarily wasn't, but I feel like there could have been ways around it." And I agree with that to a point, but I feel like it was something that needed to happen in order for Bungie to develop the game in the direction that I think they're going and that they've talked about going in the past. And I hope that's still what their main goal is. Um, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what ends up happening for sure, for sure. Now, as for myself, my positive thing doesn't directly correlate to the game, I would say. It's a little detached perhaps. And that's just the community growth we've seen in this game. And the reason I bring this up is we have had so many people join this community, start playing Destiny 2, an insane amount. And I think this has overall allowed allowed the community to become closer knit and allowed Bungie to easily point in the direction they want to go. And I think the best example I have of this is raid completions. And I'm talking day one, world's first race, all of that. Now we're just gonna compare. We're gonna compare Garden of Salvation and we're gonna compare Deepstone Crypt. Just those two. Now, like day one, what we Garden had, was it a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand? Well, Deepstone Crypt had like 34,000 or something like that. An insane number of completions. Now, some people are just going to say, well, hey, the only reason that's the case is because uh, it was a lot easier of a raid. And there's going to be people that argue with you. The way I look at it is,
Yeah, yeah, Atrax Row 1 ruined that.
for real.
Yeah,
For
For a
real.
for
lot
me,
of
for me, it
people.
was B tracks.
Ha ha
Hmm.
ha ha.
It was even harder, dude.
but but the community, the way I want to look at it is not that one raid's necessarily easier than the other, and I do think Deepstone Crypt was easier than Garden. Not going to lie, it's just an easier raid altogether. But we also had way more people actually competing in World's First or just trying to get it done in the first 24 hours. An insane amount
We
of
all know
people.
they wanted that purple emblem.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the reasons I went after it. That, and I was just generally excited for a new raid. But
You also bought the parka, though, so
we don't talk about that.
I think that's something we need a whole episode on.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe
When the
this next one.
microtransactions transcend beyond the game.
But I think we need to look at it as a positive growth in the community, and I think that's a good sign that Destiny 2 is on their way to possibly staying stable, if not growing. And that leads us perfectly into what I want to talk about next. And
And
it's
before Mekabre does that, I'm gonna go off of his community.
mhm,
Hold on a second, Mekabre.
go for it.
Speaking of community, I wanted to thank everybody who joined the clan. No matter if you're a random or a friend.
For real.
You helped us get to max clan level. You're amazing. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to come on to Destiny 2 and grind just for an hour, even if it's 10 minutes. Thank you. Your appreciation is insurmountable.
For real. For
I
real.
can't thank you enough
Yeah, and
for that.
for me, somebody that doesn't play like a little bit too much, like I'm on again, off again. I can just get on every week and get free clan engrams. Like, come on.
I knew you were gonna say something
I mean,
along those
hey, if it
lines.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
But yeah, seriously, guys, thank you for that. Everyone that's helped out, kind of incredible that we already have reached this milestone. So thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Now, like I was saying, we were just talking about some positive things in Destiny 2, some changes that were made. And I think that leads perfectly into an area that I feel like Jazz Keyfall is going to be a little more, how should I put this? Welcome to speak. Because we're talking about the state of Destiny 2, and I want to talk very, very generalized, but focused on the right now. Do you think, and Jazz, this is initially directed at you because I feel like Vito's going to hold a similar view as I do, but I could be very wrong. Do you think that Bungie has set up the game with the release of Beyond Light, the most recent expansion, in a way that is going to be sustainable and that they have enough to get themselves to the next expansion? Or do you
The
think
Witch Queen.
exactly, and next October, I think, right? Or do you think they're
Yeah.
going to be at a lack of content in these upcoming months?
I think that it's definitely trying to go in the right direction. But for me, at least, this game has kind of lost incentive at the moment because it's kind of like what I said earlier. Like, if I don't play for a long time, I'm not going to be at any detriment because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't know, a lot of people will come to Destiny because they like playing the game, and that's all well and good. But for me, if I can drop it and come back and not, I'm not set back at all, it loses a lot of motivation for me to play in the first place, right?
Yeah, because you have less stuff to do. It seems like your grind is suddenly gone, and if you're not grinding every day, then it's like, well, I come back 3 months from now and I'm at the same spot where everyone else is because a new season just started or whatever.
And I get boosted to the minimum power level anyway.
Exactly.
So,
Okay, I got you. I
yeah.
got you. Vito, do you share a similar view as Jazz Keyfall, or is yours a little different? Do you think Destiny 2 set themselves up well?
Yes and no. I s- whew. I say yes because, jeez, if they, I gotta think about this for a second. Macabre, do you have something to say?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, here's the deal. I love this game to death. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made pretty much a whole YouTube channel based off of content from Destiny 2. But
He's
here's
a
the
nerd.
thing. Just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. I think they've set themselves up very, very well for the next few expansions, and I say this pretty reassured. Like I reassure myself about this all the time. because so many people think that it's not going to last another 2 months. The game's like everyone's just gonna leave again, like they did what middle of year two, end of year two. Everyone dipped, and then only
2 weeks
recently,
after year three.
exactly, and then only recently has everyone jumped back in. And I think that they're going to have a similar issue as then, but I think not going to be as bad. And I say that because the systems that they've set up with sunsetting, with the way loot works, just in general, the seasonal content now, I think that they've set themselves up for a way to stretch out some of that content. And yeah, it might be a little boring and it might be super grindy for certain things. Like right now, I'm trying to work through the seal for the new raid. And oh my goodness, some of these things, if you don't have a good team, dude, it sucks. And then you're just waiting for the next week and the next week and the next week. And then same with the seasonal seal. Like I have everything done, but I don't have the seal. I'm only at like 15 out of 19 for this season seal. And it's because the content allowing me to upgrade my module again, lure module, isn't out yet. Or the new Secret Triumph hasn't dropped, and it's just waiting for that. And sure, that's one way to keep people like kind of lurking nearby, but it's not ensuring that they're playing the game. And I think that's what makes it sustainable in a way, not necessarily a good sustainable, because I like a game where no matter what, I have something I can work towards and like constantly like jump in and try and do. But here's the thing, I have a god roll on almost every single one of the weapons that have dropped this season that I want, you know? And past the god rolls at this point, the only thing that I'm still working through in Destiny 2 is a couple catalysts, and then maybe I don't even know, maybe a couple, maybe a couple seals. That's probably about it though. Past that, I don't have a whole lot to do, which is understandable from where you're coming from, Jazz.
Yeah, and that's part of what gets me too, is because everything in this game is so compartmentalized within different time chunks, right? Like you have to wait for the weekly reset to do something else. But
Hmm.
then there's so much to do, but none of it means anything in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Vito, you're sitting over there listening to me spark any ideas? Finish your sentences? I don't know.
Yep. Uh, so I feel like they've set themselves up like not for that long. I feel like they'll make it to the Witch Queen, then I think they're gonna have a little bit of a struggle when it comes when Lightfall comes.
Okay. So you think they
I feel like
set themselves
I
up
feel like
well for a year, but then past that, not much.
yeah. I feel like I say this because I feel like content is, as Miranda Cosgrove, iCarly would say, RR and R'd. Reduce, reused, and recycled. I mean,
And it's very much so that
I've
way.
only been in this game since season 10, but I've heard things from different YouTubers and Mekabre and Jazz Keyfall here about having them say like, "Oh yeah, the dawning back, yay, another reused event, or the Festival of the Lost, or the Guardian." Yeah, they're interesting for like the first 24 hours when they actually come back. After that, though,
Yeah. No, I
really
I agree.
nothing. It drains.
I do think now that you brought that up, that's a very solid point. I do think Bungie is very into reusing and recycling content. I mean, we have a prime
And
example of
if
that this season alone. We have the lure module, which is a downgraded version of oh, what was it called?
Chalice of Opulence,
Yes, exactly. And although they're a little different, one was at an actual location, this one's just on the tangled shore of the dreaming city. Sure, but same concept, same idea, same rewards along that line. You know.
But you also have to remember, for the Chalice of Opulence and like the Menagerie, those had their own weapon set that was exclusive to that. So you had to play that activity, but they also had other weapons that you could farm from it. Whereas
Hmm.
the lure module, you can farm these weapons just randomly, most of them, and armor for the most part. Like, there's the fusion rifle that you can't get, and
Yeah, the linear
the
fusion rifle, the wave frame grenade launcher,
the grenade launcher,
and the SMG.
SMG. I guess the weapons you do have to farm. The
Well,
what's
those,
it called?
just those three. The Wrathborn hunts. Yeah.
But then everything else you can get from other sources. So
Hmm.
why would I play the seasonal event when I can just passively get it elsewhere?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, we're wrapping up here. Is there any final thoughts that you guys have that you're just dying to get off your chests? If not, no
I
worries, because little do the people that are listening know, except for you two if you end up listening to this, there's a good chance that this podcast is going to stick around. You know, I'm kind of getting a good vibe from it. I'm hoping you guys get a good vibe from it. You walk away a little bit of thinking going on in your head. And
Yeah, my rate doubles after this episode, just so you know.
and hopefully we get a little bit of a schedule going here, maybe like the 1st and the 15th of every month. I don't know, 30-minute podcast. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Last minute thoughts, 30 seconds or less. Jazz.
Okay, you have a timer? Oh god, my time's already started. I've wasted like 5 already. Oh gosh. Um, okay. As negative as I have been on this game, I do enjoy it, but I need to take regularly scheduled breaks to enjoy it. It's it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but I can't.
All I can say is all good things in moderation.
Yeah. It's like I had too many like butterfingers and
Ooh.
I got sick to my stomach. So now I need to wait until the next day to eat more butterfingers.
Okay, okay. Vito, your 30 seconds. Final thoughts. Wrap it up. Ready, go.
Vault of Glass is coming back, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
When?
Season 14, I want to say.
Okay, I was gonna say if they want to keep bringing people back, I feel like that's gonna be a good start to it.
For sure.
If they want to keep people coming back and back,
Just the
because
nostalgia alone.
season 14 is gonna be the one right before the Witch Queen comes out, presumably. So I feel like if it actually does come back in season 14, I feel like that'll be a good way to kick off things and be like, hey, stonks, come on, just come back to
Sorry,
the
Everett.
game.
That was 35 seconds here. Way over time.
Yeah,
Darn.
no, I do agree with you. I think Vogue is going to be the perfect opportunity to grab people right back into the game. And I'm hoping that they do it at just the right time. Now, thank you guys, both of you. Uh, I know I kind of asked you a little bit on the fly, and not a whole lot of planning went into this. So we'll see what
You
it
were on
ends
an
up being
airplane
like.
when you asked us?
No.
Oh,
Ah,
trying to be the
no.
funny guy, huh?
Big brain, big brain. All right, so thank you both of you for being on here with me, and I hope that we can do this a little more often. Maybe we get some other guest appearances. I do have some people that lined up. Well, not really lined up,
Ooh,
but we'll see.
foreshadowing.
We'll
Just
see
like
Yeah,
in
what
Romeo and
happens.
Juliet.
So, thank you guys for
yeah.
listening. If you're watching this
There,
on the YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn those bell notifications on. If you're listening to this over on Spotify, make sure you check out my YouTube because we got some great content over there. If you're not part of the Discord, make sure you click that link down below and join up. Give a huge thanks to Walsh for setting it up. And with that, you guys already know how this is going to end. Do I need to say it? Jazz? Vito, do I need to say this?
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing though.
Okay, go for it.
If you want to help out Macabre here, you could always, play this on loop and just fall asleep to the sweet
Just like
sultry
it's the Deep
voice
Stone Lullaby.
of Macabre. Yeah.
Do
He
not
he actually
recommend.
wrote Deep Stone Lullaby,
No,
I
no,
I
no, whoa, whoa,
think.
whoa, whoa, no, 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 no,
What?
I did
Do you
not.
really think Bungie's gonna sue us?
No, but I don't even want to run into an issue near that.
But
Highly do not
it's
recommend
not
doing what Jazz
it's
Keyfall said. You guys already know how this
listen,
video is gonna end.
listen. Works
Feel
perfect
free
for insomnia.
to subscribe, turn those bell notifications on for more podcasts, more content, more. Who knows? I don't know what the future is gonna hold. Let me know if
Puts
you
me to
guys want to
sleep
see
every time.
something. And as I just keep talking over Jazz Keyfall, you guys know how this is gonna end. Get back to grinding, you crazy guardians.